Hello guys, what is going on? RudyWayTCG back at it again with another video, and today I'm going to be bringing you my Ultra Necrozma Malamar deck profile. So this is for the post-rotation 2020, I believe, standard format. So yeah, let's get right into it. So to start it all off, we have 4 inkay. You kind of need 4 inkay to play the game. Hold on, let me adjust this. There we go, that should be a little better. We need 4 inkay, obviously, to start the game, and 4 Malamar. This is pretty standard. You should not really be running any less than this, especially in a format without Rescue Stretcher. Now, to add another inkay to my list, I am playing a 1-of copy of Ditto Prism Star. Now, you need this Ditto kind of because you're going to run out of inkays and you really want to get your Malamars up. That's the main priority of the deck. So yeah, this is the best number of cards to run for the Malamar line, in my opinion. Okay, so for next we got the attackers. We got 2 Giratina, which are really recyclable because of Distortion Door, even though you don't have a Rescue Stretcher. This is really good because it can also damage opponent's Pokemon, putting them in range to be knocked out by this here Ultra Necrozma. We're running 2 copies of this guy. He's really good at finishing the game. You don't really want to play him down until you've kind of set up the board for yourself to use a good Sky Scorching Light or to take the game-winning prizes with this, because they will be trading with your 2 prizers much better than they will be with your 1 prizers, so that is something to look out for. Next, for our draw support, or our draw engine, my bad, we are playing 3 copies of Jirachi here. This is so that you have a more likelihood of starting the Jirachi, but it's also not 4 because you don't want it to clog your hand all the time. And you also want it to be more likely so that you can like Pokemon communication it away or find it in your hand more often. Another way to draw cards would be with this dedenne GX. It allows you to discard your entire hand and draw 6 cards. So that is really powerful, especially in the early game when you're looking to get 3 inkays on your board on the first turn of the game. The last Pokemon we are running is a copy of Mew. This is so that you can block Picarom's Tag Bolt attack with the Bench Barrier ability. It's also pretty useful in other matchups such as Beast Box and other things that can snipe your bench that I am currently not remembering. Alright, let's move on to the items. For the items, we are running 4 Custom Catcher. This is very standard in the new format because there is no other way to gust Pokemon into the active than Custom Catcher. If you play 2 of them at the same time, it brings any Pokemon you want into the active. And if you just play 1 of them at a time, then you can draw until you have 3 cards in your hand. Overall, a really versatile and good card, so I don't see why you wouldn't run any less than 4. Next up, we got 4 copies of Pokemon Communication. This is very key when in the early game when you want to set up as many inkays as you possibly can to evolve into Malamar the next turn. Also, you want to find your Jirachi early so that you can use it for the entire game with a single copy of a skateboard that we'll get into later. Another part of the draw engine, or not the draw engine, the Pokemon search engine, is the Mysterious Treasure. You really rely on this card to get energies into the discard and also to search out Dragon, Ultra Necrozma, or Psychic, Malamar, and other friends' Pokemon. Next up on the list, we got 4 copies of Acro. This allows you to dig through your deck, discard Psychic Energy, and try and find missing pieces of combinations that you need to play the game. I think it's a very important card in this deck, and you could probably cut 1 or 2 of them, but I like having 4 around. Next, for our switching cards, we got 3 copies of Switch and 2 copies of a Skateboard. This allows you to switch between attackers, switch out of Malamars, switch out of Jirachis, and even switch your Ultra Necrozma back to bench to be replenished as an attacker. Next, for our supporters, this is a pretty standard kind of supporters. We got ourselves 4 copies of Lillie, 4 copies of Cynthia, and 1 copy of Brock's Grit. Now, the Brock's Grit is the most questionable card in this deck. You could probably cut it if you want, but I like it so that you can recycle your metal energies to use and also recycle some attackers and Malamars that you wouldn't otherwise be able to recycle. The 4 Cynthia, 4 Lillie is very standard. I don't think you can run any less than that in any kind of deck in this format. And lastly, we're going to get into our energy. We got ourselves 7 copies of Psychic Energy, 3 copies of Metal Energy, and 2 copies of Viridian Forest. Viridian Forest is really good for bouncing Prism Stadiums and also for searching out the correct type of energy you need, also while discarding Psychic Energy into your discard pile. I don't see why you'd run another Stadium, but yeah, that's gonna do it for this deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna throw up a list on the screen right now. So yeah, once again, I hope you enjoyed the deck list and hope you find success with the deck as well. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.